And good morning. Welcome to Sports Talk. Good Saturday morning. Beautiful blue skies outside. Should be a, nice low 90s today.
Low 90s. And
typical.
90s for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I did see that this morning. Almost as I was walking out the door, and I didn't realize we were going back into that mid-90 range for the next, well, not immediately, but over the next 10 days we're going to be in the 93 to 96 range. It looks like quite a bit. So
a dread August.
As if July's not bad enough, you're dreading August. So
Yeah.
Don't forget September.
Yeah, and don't forget
Stays in the
and
90s.
all the way into mid-October.
Stays in the night. See if this is fitting for the weather that is coming up. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me.
Let it be.
There you go. Boy, he nailed it, didn't he? Wasted no time with that one this morning. Guess where I saw that? It was not something I looked up the lyrics this morning. It was a tweet that popped up. I don't know why it is. Do you guys still get on Twitter a lot or not?
I do.
No. What's your thing?
But
Brett?
I've completely gone away from Facebook.
Have you?
And
Are you
very
Instagram, Brett,
seldom.
or do you not do any of it? Any social
Yeah,
media?
but I only look at Instagram for certain things.
Okay.
I get on a couple times a day and look.
Do you post anything?
How about
on
TikTok?
Instagram?
No.
No.
I used to, but no.
How about what?
TikTok.
TikTok?
No, I will get on Twitter.
I don't have a TikTok account. I don't know. You know.
If I want to read what the Dodgers people are posting about during the game, I might get
On Twitter?
Yeah, I might get on and read.
And I follow a lot of sports people, therefore, and music now. I mean, probably. You guys know I'll send you guys a picture every now and then of different music artists that I find interesting. But yeah, this tweet just popped up, and it was those lyrics out of Let It Be.
I want to find a CD by the Belmont Playboy.
Okay, so Brett won't have a clue what
No, he
we're
has no
talking
idea
about
what
this
we're
morning. But
talking
we were baseballing last night at South Point High School, and the Cherryville Post 100 taking on the Gaston Braves, and we were just going through. For some reason, we were talking about different radio shows.
Yeah.
That, like Murphy in the Morning. We're talking about way back in the day, and
Pass the loot.
Yep, John Boy and Billy and some of their skits. And I just said, I can't remember, but were the Belmont Playboys one of those skits, or was that real? And we found out that it was a real band.
We did.
The Belmont Playboys was a real band, and we had people sending us. I worked with one of these guys, and somebody said.
Then somebody sent you a YouTube song.
Yes. Jeff Mason sent me he said, I guess this is the same ones, and yes, it was. It was the Belmont Playboys.
They're on Spotify. I just looked them up.
Are they?
Yep.
Okay. And we tried to guess what kind of music it was, and the name of the song that I was sent last night, which is pretty much left
Hillbilly Doll.
Hillbilly Doll.
Yeah.
Hillbilly Doll, and it sounded. Mike nailed it with the sound. They sound like the who did you say? I forgot now.
Stray Cats.
Stray Cats. They had the sound.
Rockabilly.
Had the sound of the Stray Cats.
Yeah.
It's kind of the because I had guessed beach music, and Mike had guessed bluegrass.
Bluegrass.
Yeah, and really neither one. Mike was closer, I guess, a little closer than I was, but I just figured a lot of the local bands were.
You're right. Yeah,
we're into beach.
Tend to do beach type stuff.
But the Belmont Playboys. How about that?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what years that would have been because I don't even know how I heard of them. I can't even remember. I guess they, on commercials back in the day, they were advertising they'd be playing somewhere, maybe something like that.
My connection was the old pop band, the Gary Lewis and the Playboys.
Yeah.
From the '60s.
Yep. Well, a much larger, more popular band.
They
nationwide.
They were national.
And I'm guessing the Belmont Playboys would have been from, Gaston County, that Belmont, because
local,
it was all local. Yep. Well, I tried to name a few members last night out of our Rat Pack there, but they didn't respond. Did
I thought
they?
maybe, yeah.
Well, one of them did, but they denied.
Rick Mitchum on lead guitar. But.
Well, they'd have to cancel every night. He'd be a no-show, wouldn't he?
He'd be either at the mountains or the beach.
He's covering it all. Covering it all right
He's
now.
been from sea to shining. Well, no, from mountains. What is it? From Manio to Murphy.
Well, I don't know if he's been that far.
Nah.
But, yeah, something like that. We got baseball to talk about, which includes Major League Baseball. We got American Legion Baseball, which is, dwindling down in teams. Cherryville finds themselves in a 2-0 hole against the Gaston Braves after dropping last night's game on a pair of home runs in the bottom of the sixth from the Gaston Braves. Cherryville leading 1-0. The Gaston Braves hit a solo homer to tie it. 2 batters later, a 2-run homer to give
Just
them
like
the
that.
lead.
Yeah.
Cherryville did score a run in the top of the 7th, Mike, but we talked about the turning point of that game, and I won't name him, but the kid that got the base hit that scored the run in the 7th tried to stretch it into a double, and he was out by about 10 feet. So, and it seemed from that point on, it just deflated Cherryville's, and it did. Took
They
chance
really
away.
might. I mean, shoulda, woulda, coulda is the way sports go, but you got to think you would have had a runner on first, no outs.
You had a better chance.
Instead, you have nobody on and 1 out.
Yep. And when you say a runner, the tying run.
The tying run.
On first base with nobody out. And, then, who knows what goes from there. But that's neither here nor there at this point.
Doesn't matter.
They find themselves in the hole 2-0. They return home tonight, play at Cherryville tonight at 7. Mike and Mike will be there to have you that game again tonight. Now, I will say this. The other series only got 1 inning in last night. The Rutherford County and Queen City series is still 1-0 Queen City. They won game 1 2-1 in Charlotte on, let me get my nights right, Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Then last night they played 1 inning is all they got in, and it's 2-2. So looked like it's going to be a slugfest in game 2.
I noticed when I got home just looking at the weather, and it was up toward Bellwood, up in there, Rutherford County, Upper Cleveland. A lot of disturbance. And
Evidently.
Yeah.
But they will resume that game today, Mike Powell, at 3 p.m.
Ooh,
3 p.m. In Queen City. You know where Queen City is? Was it you asked me where do they play?
The
I said Charlotte.
Tuckasegee Dream Park.
You remember that. That's impressive. I wouldn't have, and I told you.
Yeah.
I read it and
I don't know,
told
the Dream Part just got me.
Dreams. I think Dreams with an S.
Dreams.
I think. Now that you
Not
said
just
that.
daydream, dreams.
Believer. Different group.
Yeah.
Daydream Believer. But 3 o'clock, that means they'll take a short break, in between and play game 3 as well, weather permitting. All this is weather permitting. We had non-threatening skies. Now, there were clouds at a distance, looked like they could be producing rain, but they weren't headed our direction last night.
No, you know what? It
down
was
in
a pretty
Belmont.
pleasant evening down there.
Yeah. Once the sun went down, I was surprised. It wasn't
nice.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as some of the evenings we've had. There was a little breeze blowing, and one thing I don't normally do is park real close
You
to
never
a baseball
do that,
field
but you did.
until last night.
Yeah.
And last night
you took your chances.
there was a pop-up, and it was going toward my vehicle, right, pretty close, and we heard wham!
That ominous sound.
And so for about the next hour, I was wondering, was it really mine or not? But as it turned out, if it was, you can't tell it. I didn't see anything. There was no baseball laying in the front seat when we got out there after the game last night. But
you won't be doing that tonight.
no, well, really, you can't park.
You
Well, I
can't.
guess you can park pretty close at Cherryville if you park next to the school.
You could park right there in the school lot.
And there's always 3 or 4 vehicles in that area
to do it.
and they never get touched.
Never get touched.
It's like they have a cloud around them.
Even though 90% of the foul balls go that way.
They do. Off the right-handed batters.
Yeah.
Off those right-handed bats and spray it to the right side. But
Yep.
for some reason, they usually. Now mine will go over there and it'll get hit on night one. You're right. I'm not gonna take that chance. But appreciate the hospitality last night, the Gaston Braves and
Yeah, they worked with us.
and those folks. They did. Yep.
We had a few technical issues just to try to find a place to get some power.
I love this. You need to guess who this text is from.
Okay.
If Rick went from Manio to Murphy, someone would have had to have paid for it.
I love it.
Well, we're not saying they didn't.
No.
Maybe that's
Given his frequent trips to resort spots, somebody's paying, or somebody did pay at one time.
Well, he's taking advantage
He's
of the
certainly
situation.
taking advantage of his new retirement.
Taking advantage of that situation. We got a lot to talk about. Some of the things, did you wake up to golf this morning? Either one of you? Wake up and check the
Didn't turn it on.
British Open. That is.
No, the last thing I saw
day
last
3.
night was Tiger tearfully taking his perhaps
Listen
final
to that
walk ever
alliteration this early.
up St. Andrews.
Tiger tearfully taking.
Tearfully.
I know. Oh, cheerfully.
Tearful.
That's what I said. Yeah, TTT. Tiger
Yeah.
tearfully.
Which, the
I don't
British
think it was cheerfully.
No.
doing it.
Let's see, the British Open's not coming back to St. Andrews for, 7 years or something like that, and
He thinks he won't be back.
he won't be back.
Yeah. You did you just say he won't be back? Or?
Well, he thinks he
Okay.
probably won't.
But I
be
meant
back.
your opinion.
At 7 years, I don't think he will.
Okay. Well, it would. I guess that would be highly.
I was disappointed he didn't
unlikely.
make the cut.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, were you disappointed for the other? How many? Wonder how many didn't make. How many in that field? And how many is in how many usually make the cut in a major like that? Is there a certain number that they're
Oh, you
close
mean
to?
that start out.
Yeah.
83 made it.
Okay. That's weird too that it's 80. Well, I guess once
Yeah.
you get to a certain spot, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter what the number is because you say. And what was the score of the where'd the line draw? Because it's not a permanent line. It's just depend on
It
the
does.
number.
It's not a permanent line.
The amount of players that are near that line.
I'd say probably around even par or a couple over, maybe.
Yeah, because I don't know what the score of the leader.
It must have been
Was-
even.
13 under for the leader.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even or better.
I mean, that tells me one thing that I don't like about a major. Course is too easy. If somebody's
be.
on pace to finish 26 under in a major, I hate it.
I do too.
I hate it.
I don't like it when you get
five under's plenty good.
Yeah.
For me to win a major, it should be hard enough that 5 under take a very, yeah, I don't like that. I mean, and par should not even be the cutoff. I mean, it should really be like 4 over, something
over.
like that. If you make the course hard.
One thing I do like about this leaderboard, Roy McIlroy is 10 under and third,
Yeah, he's probably my favorite.
tied for third.
For some reason, he's probably my favorite. So, yes. Mm-hmm. On a break or now?
Well, I'm trying to get you on radio.
Oh, wow, we're not on yet. Let's see. Looking for something for Lanny. Go ahead. Continue with the British Open.
And I also see Dustin
It's in the
Johnson
back, Lanny.
is 9 under, so he's a stroke back of 4 strokes back of the leader. Now, Dustin Johnson is one of those golfers who has joined LIV, right? LIV golf.
I don't even know who the group is now.
He is one of the big names.
I do
along
know
with-
that they are getting hammered by some of the other golfers, but I really don't know why.
Well, Tiger came out and criticized the new tour and
Yeah.
those who have defected. Well, here's the thing. Am I right, Brad? You can make all this money playing the Saudi tour, but you can also you can also play in the biggies, right? The majors.
The majors, but that's all, yeah. Which
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to me.
I know.
Why can
Yeah.
I don't know. But then again, Tiger Woods can say that today, but would a 21, 22-year-old Tiger Woods have done the same thing?
Yeah.
Made the same jump. That
The
some of these
Tigers
guys
make
are today.
millions
That's
off
right. That's right. He's
golf.
got his money.
He's got his money.
So it's easier to say whenever you're
You're young and
Pockets are
hungry
full.
and climbing up, and I think
and you're talking guaranteed money versus got to win it. Got to win
Yeah.
it on the PGA Tour. The guarantee. I usually tend to go toward guaranteed.
so. You don't have any
if it were me.
moralistic or ideological problem with the Saudi tour.
Well, I've not read into it enough and
Yeah.
know anything the negatives. If they want or if they're wanting to offer me that kind of money, I'm probably going to go.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to go, and
Follow the money,
uh,
right?
and I don't blame
Or show me the
anybody.
money.
I don't blame anybody that did.
No.
You think you took us completely off everything because we don't hear anything in here now?
You don't hear anything there?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
That's okay. No, thank you.
Okay. Do you think we're off?
No, I
Okay.
just found a problem.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Just want to make sure. Brett, your opinion on that? You're younger,
Well,
Yeah.
younger than me and Mike, anyway.
I'm like, I don't know enough about the new tour to have a reason to say
There we go.
There we go.
that they're doing,
Stereo.
I mean, I don't think the golfers that are leaving the
Thought he was going to say
PGA
steroids.
are doing anything wrong.
No, but yet they get hammered for, it's just,
Well, I mean, some
why don't
critics,
Mookie Betts get hammered? He left the Red Sox. Yeah, he did in Boston, but not nationwide. He left the Red Sox, and
Yeah, they
actually,
they traded him.
yeah, they traded him. Actually, he didn't get hammered in Boston. The organization got hammered in Boston for letting him get away. But I don't blame him. I never blamed him. and I'm a Red Sox fan. I mean, I'm going. He's going to another team that's going to contend for a world championship every year, and he's getting more money. What can you say negative about that? So same way to me. With the golf. Thank you, Lenny. Lenny says he can.
Well, not only that, guys, they only had to play 3 days, and 54 holes.
Yeah, yep.
But
Well,
this would be
that-
more like if Mookie
Good or
left
bad?
Major League and went and joined
Yeah, I guess it would. But okay.
another league that was paying more.
Yeah, like sponsored by the Chinese or something.
Do you think
But the PGA allows every other tournament to live.
Do you think it's in golf? It's because they're losing the stars. Now, what if this was guys that hover around the cut, may make it, may not every week, and then all of a sudden they're getting that offer? We wouldn't even think anything about it, right?
Yeah.
It's
But of
because
course,
golf's losing their stars.
Those average guys aren't going to get the offer, right?
No, because the Live Tour wouldn't make it
No.
Yep.
without some of the stars.
Oh, they'd make it. They'd make it. That Saudi money's pretty deep, so I think they
Yeah.
would make it. It wouldn't be as profitable, I would say.
Well, the thing that's brought up is some of the things the Saudis have done. The assassination and dismemberment of that
Oh, yeah.
journalist is
Yep.
one big thing. And some people even go back to 9/11 because most of the terrorists actually came from Saudi Arabia.
Training grounds.
So
Yep.
it's I guess it's complicated, but
Jason says the Department of Justice is going to investigate the PGA Tour to see if they're engaging in anti-competitive practices, and as the PGA Tour has been speaking out against the LIV Tour. Yep.
yeah.
Um,
Well, of course, in a free market economy, I mean,
and that goes in depth way more than I'm even interested
Oh,
in.
yeah, I don't wanna get into
And
that.
I'm not watching the LIV.
No.
I don't even hardly watch the PGA Tour that much.
it depends on what it is.
This is probably, we talk about the Masters, and if we tune in, we're probably going to watch the Masters. But
yeah, we are.
after the Masters, I would say the British Open, I probably like it just a smidge better than the U.S.
Because
Open.
of the uniqueness
Yeah.
of the layout.
Yeah.
We don't see that in this country.
But the reason I have liked it all this time is because a guy with one over par might win it.
Yeah.
That's why I've liked now you're telling me
a
that
lot of
the
times they have
leaders
to deal with severe
Yeah.
conditions.
Yeah. Win.
makes
and I
it
don't-
even better.
I don't know what it's been like.
Evidently not that.
I know there hadn't. The little bit I watched yesterday, the conditions seemed pretty good. I mean, it was a little windy, no rain or anything. But yeah, those guys at the top obviously aren't having any trouble with the course or the conditions.
No, -13.
No, evidently no rain, evidently no wind, and wind is what it's really known for.
Yeah.
It's the wind, the unique sand traps that are so different from the U.S. sand traps, and I don't know what you call it, but the terrain from tee box to, I mean, sometimes it looks like you need a four-wheeler to go to the fairway. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, sometimes it looks so rough, but it's just
Yeah, and what
the
I saw
courses are
yesterday
different.
was really dry, smooth fairways where the ball would
Fast,
roll. The
yeah.
ball would roll a mile. They
So you did watch some yesterday.
hit it 260, 70 yards in the air, and it rolls another 80 yards.
Hey, that's my kind of course.
I need all the rolls I can get.
That's right.
Yeah, but then you get up to the ball, and it's like you're hitting off of concrete.
Yeah, well, when you that's what I was going to say. When you putt, you have to use a tee for your putter because you don't want to hit it any harder than you can hit it with a tee. But get your putter out, and the ball jumps. I'm sure, but surely not as slick as some of those Augusta greens, though, is it? I mean, the greens themselves, not.
No, I don't think so.
But
They're massive greens, but no, I think those Augusta greens are in a category by themselves.
Yep. I am currently here trying to find the, and you might be able to find it, Brett, quicker than me, the leaderboard.
Oh yeah, I've got it up.
Good.
I've got it up now.
Good. Go through it.
Cameron Smith is the one at 13 under in the lead by himself, and then Cameron Young is 2 back. Rory and Victor Hovland are 3 back. Dustin Johnson 4 back. Tyrell Hatton and then Scotty Scheffler are 5 back, and Scheffler, he's I think number 1 in the world right now. I can't remember for sure. Won the Masters.
Now, is that based on the President's Cup standings,
I don't know.
rankings? No.
No, I don't think so.
No. That's
That's just
the
like the
US.
world golf,
Right.
rankings. Kevin Kistner shot 7 under today. He had finished. He barely made the cut. He was at even par and shot 7 under today. So he's in a tie for 8th, but his round is over. And then these leaders don't tee off until the final group tees off at 10:55.
10:55 our time.
Yeah.
Yeah, which over there would be what, 3:55? I think it's 5 hours.
I think so,
difference, roughly.
Yeah.
A
A lot of guys are finished. Some of them.
Mike, talking your microphone so
Yep.
we can all hear you.
Sorry.
Now, what'd you say?
There's some guys have already finished their rounds.
Yeah.
Cameron Young, the guy in second place, he's a Wake Forest guy. There's several Wake Forest guys on the tour right now, and all been playing well at times this year. Cameron Smith, the leaders from Australia.
I have a message from Mike that I will tell him off the air from one of our
Why
listeners.
can't
I
you
will
tell
say
me on the air?
because we do not get into politics on this show.
Oh.
One iota.
I
Nothing.
like that
No,
idea.
we do not mention politics
Okay.
on this particular show. This is a sports show, so we avoid politics, and it's and I understand where he's coming from, but no, we do not do that. And also heard from someone who's another person that's up in the mountains this morning. We'll discuss that in a little bit as well. So let's see. Here goes the old battery trying to run dead on me here this morning. So tell me the top 3 one more time, Brett. I was digging in these messages.
Cameron Smith is in the lead at 13 under. Cameron Young is 2 back, and then Rory and Victor Hovland are 3 back.
Okay.
And Don Revels, he says the greens roll around a 10 on the stimp meter, which I don't know exactly what that is, but to compare to the Masters, Augusta is typically close to 14. So he says the fairways roll faster than the greens at St. Andrews.
Yeah. And
not quite the same speed on the greens as Augusta
is that because
National.
of the dryness of the fairways?
I think so.
Yes, and then shortcut, it maybe cut
Yeah.
shorter than the normal.
Yeah, they look. I
fairways
mean,
in
they
the
look
US.
like they're about as short as you could get them.
Right.
and still have a little bit of grass.
All right, let's take a timeout. We need to take a timeout. I'm going to do a couple things here. I think, Lanny, did you get it all straightened out, Lanny? Huh? Good deal. Good deal.
Ooh.
Glad to welcome our WLON audience. We now are back, not just online, but on the air as well on WLON, 107.5 FM, 1050 AM. We're going to take a quick timeout. Thank you for tuning in. Back here in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
I think I'm about ready to play my first round.
First, to go play it at St. Andrews.
Yeah,
Hey,
why not? Start off with the best.
that's where it started, right? Is that not? Is that
the
no,
ancient,
Is that where golf started?
yeah, the ancient home of golf.
Sure.
Welcome back to
not for
Sports
me.
Talk. Glad to have you with us discussing St. Andrews. Don Revels, thank you. He's invited us to Scotland to play St. Andrews. Me, Mike, Brett, and Don going to make a foursome there to play. Just kidding. But he does plan to go,
Yeah.
which would be great. You said in a week,
Yeah.
Brett, in about a week going over there. I don't even know what's the. Here would be the key for me. What have the temperatures been?
I know.
Because I don't even know, But guess
Better than here.
Yeah, oh yeah, I have seen long sleeves.
Yeah.
and,
Oh, yeah.
light jackets,
Sweaters
and stuff.
and the
You haven't
golfers.
seen one of those over here in quite a while.
No.
Long sleeves or jackets.
Yeah, I'd say as long as it's above 35 or so, it's better than here. Which I don't know if it's in the 40s. I don't think I'd want to get out there and play if it's in the 40s and windy.
Yeah, windy.
I'd rather
Wind makes all
play-
the difference in
I'd
the
rather
world.
play in where it's 90.
Yeah.
The one place you would probably still wear a light jacket here would be Pebble Beach, right? Right there on the bay,
Maybe.
Carmel.
I was thinking Mount Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
You could probably wear
that
it.
too.
And there is a golf course. Lenny says he read that they are thinking about adjusting the qualification criteria at the four majors next year to ban the LIV players from playing in the four majors. My guess would be, would that change any of them's mind to not be able to participate?
That would be a tough choice.
I
mean,
think
the
it might
majors,
change, 25%.
When you talk about the Open, PGA, the Masters.
If you're going strictly for the money, it wouldn't change your mind at all. But if you're going for the prestige and the money, and want
Yeah.
to be known, because right now, the way they're doing it right now, you can play and get the guaranteed money and play in the four majors every year, and that's what people are going to remember that you won, are the majors.
Well, I
I
would
mean,
think
can you tell me who won the just any random tournament? This
Yeah.
year so far. I mean, you probably name somebody and hit one, but no, you're gonna remember. Of course, I can't even tell you who won the majors at right now off the top of my head. Who won the
can't
Masters?
either.
Who won the Masters?
Who won the Masters?
Scotty
No, that was
Scheffler, wasn't
Scheffler.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I probably thought of it, but not known he was the winner. I probably would have named him in the list, and you would have said yes. But
Okay, and we've had the U.S. Open too, correct?
Mike Powell wears a jacket at Brookwood year round. That's the message I get. So there you go. You want to know where you can wear a jacket? Just go to Brookwood.
Yeah,
you are going to need a jacket.
The British
Well,
Open is
that's a specialized
away.
environment, Brookwood.
the British
65
Open is the
degrees.
final
Final
major of the
major,
year.
so. Okay. The U.S. Open was the most recent.
Yeah.
Is that right?
McElroy.
McElroy. Yeah. Okay.
Now, when is the
remembers that one.
PGA?
I thought it was usually.
It was in
last.
May.
Was it?
PGA
Yeah, they
was
moved
in
it a
May.
few years ago.
Okay.
They're April, May, June, July.
So who won
Okay.
the PGA championship?
I cannot tell you.
Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas.
That's
So
right.
3 different people. And
The U.S. Open was Matt Fitzpatrick. Rory has not won a major
He's
this
not
year.
won a major
No.
this
where
year.
did Mike come out? He just
I-
throws
I
Rory
don't
out
know.
there.
I don't know.
And Mike,
It's a
you're
ball of
not
confusion.
Irish anyway, are you? Brett and I are the
No, it's a-
are the Irishmen
right.
sitting in the
I'm
in
English.
the studio.
uh,
Brett's even
descent.
wearing his green to,
Yeah.
to prove it. But
Yeah, I'm English descent. So.
English, and you major in it
Yeah. That's,
and teach it.
Yeah, so
Brett and I do
I
not
lived
teach
out my
Irish.
destiny.
We don't teach any Irish. Just going through some of the things here, some of the happenings. If I got to get into this a little bit. If the Boston Red Sox would have lost a game last night like the New York Yankees lost, I might not even shown up today. I might have just been throwing up all night long. Did you guys?
Yeah, but what about the way
either one of you catch the end of that game and what
the
happened?
way Boston let the Yankees tie it?
Well, I didn't even see it. I wasn't home yet.
Yeah, well, they would have.
It was that bad too.
Yeah.
Just as bad. Errors.
Yeah.
Comedy of errors.
Yeah, but then the Yankees loaded the bases with no outs and didn't score.
In the ninth.
After they tied it, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I start. That's where I picked it. When I got home, it's 4-3, and the Yankees had a golden opportunity. Bases loaded, no outs. Boston had already had their at-bat, and the Yankees come up empty. Don't know how they got out of that inning. I'm assuming there was maybe a double play in there. Maybe. Yes, I do. I think I was told it was a third to home to first double play.
Wow.
That got 2 of the outs. But then that wasn't even the outrageous part. I mean, Boston, it just looked like they were just, and as they have all year, they were just struggling to do anything right. But Xander Bogaerts took a big chance from third base, Mike, on a pitch that bounced in the dirt with 2 outs in the 10th inning, right, Brett? I think this was the 10th, top of the 10th.
I think it was the 11th.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it went 11, so it would have been the 11th. It bounced in the dirt. It hit the catcher's face mask. It went from about me to you, this distance, and Bogaerts broke for home and beat it.
Yeah, went out in front of the plate.
In front of the plate, yeah.
The pitcher and catcher both went for it.
And Bogaerts made a good slide. He slid to the back of the plate. It wasn't even close.
Well, the catcher didn't even have the ball. He missed. When he went to pick up the ball, he missed.
Yeah, I didn't even know he whiffed on it.
So, yeah, if he tagged him, it wouldn't have mattered.
But he would have been late anyway because when he got there, he was late with with what would have been the tag. And then the Yankees, did they not leave a runner at third base or at second to end the game? I can't recall exactly.
Well, yeah, you get that runner at second to start the inning so that they –
And Boston, who can't beat anybody in the division – has somehow won 3 in a row now against the Yankees.
Yeah.
After dropping the first 2 in a 4-game series last weekend, they've won. Now they're probably going to lose. I think they play. Well, no, they don't. I started to say they go into Monday, but they don't go into Monday because don't the All-Star break start Monday?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So the worst week of the Major League Baseball season is coming up this week.
Yeah.
It is the absolute worst week. I told Mike last night on the way home, I care nothing about the home run derby. It's just not any good anymore, not any fun. A lot of the best guys you want to see, they don't even hit in it, okay? Who would you pick? Who from 3 from each side? Let's just say you took 3 from American League, 3 from National League. Who would you pick in the home run derby? And, Brett, you follow it closer than Mike.
Aaron Judge.
Yeah, definitely. Is he hitting in it? Or do you know?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's been injured off and on.
I think
so
the one
not.
they do it by seeds now. And, they have – it's like quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. The number 1 seed is Schwarber.
Okay.
And he's going up against Pujols, which I like Pujols being in it.
Yeah.
Even though he's not one of the top 8 home run hitters this year, but
his farewell.
I
guess it's.
I think Giancarlo Stanton I would want to see in it just because he can hit them so far.
Yeah.
Even
though that's 2 Yankees.
I don't care who they play for. I want to say, you should take. What it should be is your top. If it's 4 on each side, it should be your top 4 home run hitters from the American League, top 4 home run hitters from the National League. Is the way I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
It probably won't be. I would say out of those 8 guys that we're talking about,
the top 8.
You might have 4 of them. You might be lucky to have half of them, and I wouldn't even be surprised if is Schwarber in that category. Does he fall into the top 4? I thought he did.
Yeah.
He's.
I think he's leading the National League.
Did Pujols hit 694 a little bit earlier in the week, career-wise?
I thought you were saying as his batting average. But
nah,
you're just talking about home run number.
I'm talking about his
batting average is 94.
When you think that only 2 guys are ahead of him, right?
I would say Ruth
and Bonds.
Yeah, and Hank Aaron's probably above him.
Yeah.
You forgot about Aaron, of course. Yeah.
I think is A-Rod still?
A-Rod's.
He hit 696, I think.
I thought he hit 699 maybe. It was – or maybe it was 696. He's way up on the list.
Okay, so Pujols is probably 5th.
He keeps dropping.
I don't know how many Babe Ruth hit.
714.
Okay. So, yeah, he's at least 5th.
That's the only one really that I can remember because
but he will
growing up, that's the number that was chased for so long was 714.
Yeah, 714
he'll probably
forever.
pass A-Rod.
But
well, anyway, Pete Alonso, he's the back-to-back
I enjoy watching
champion.
him. He's one of my favorite players. I've said that before.
He's won it the last 2 years, and he's in it again.
Yeah, well, that's good. You need your defending champ to always be there, unless they're injured or just having
And he's going up against Ronald Acuna in the first round.
Well, will that even be a contest?
Well, I would think so.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I want to see. That's what the fans, I think, would want to see. Where is the All-Star game?
L.A.?
L.A.
L.A.?
City of Angels.
Angels? Is it in Angels Stadium?
No, that's not in L.A.
I knew that would get Brett. The L.A. hosting the All-Star game.
The city of Dodgers.
Are we sure the Angels even play in the suburbs of Los Angeles? Do they really exist?
I've been there.
Is there a team? Yeah, Brett's been. He's been to
Yeah,
the
I know.
Angels Stadium.
And it's one of those, 25-mile, 3-hour drives.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
L.A. to Anaheim.
You can actually make it in 3 hours? A couple comments from Lenny while you're looking there, Brett. They moved the PGA from August to May, is now the second major rather than the last. Pujols did hit number 684.
684.
Oh, okay.
This week.
I was thinking 694.
684 this week. Hey, I hate to say it, but he may not get to 694.
He may not.
You know?
No.
I mean, that's 10 more.
He's only hit
At his
6 so
age.
far this year.
Yeah.
Not
So-
likely.
Yep. And will he play another season, or is this?
I think this is it.
This is
he's
it.
already announced it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I didn't know if he had announced it or not.
So he would. That makes him fifth then on the all-time list, probably.
Probably. It makes him feel, and he ends it with probably, or I like it.
Tentatively.
I like it, Mike. We will.
Bonds. Then
Now don't tell me we just went over them and you said
Bonds, Aaron, Ruth,
A-Rod.
A-Rod.
Okay? Are you sure about all that?
Pretty.
And
sure.
I'm not saying you're not. I'm not saying yay or nay.
So here's who's hitting in the home run derby: Schwarber and Pujols, Corey Seager and Julio Rodriguez of the Mariners.
God, how many home runs do these guys have? It ought to have that out beside their name.
I don't know. Well, Corey Seager's the 3 seed. So out of the 8 guys, he's hit the third most because they do it
Okay,
by how many you've
okay.
hit.
Mm-hmm.
Third most out of the 8 guys.
Out of the 8 guys. Jose Ramirez from Cleveland and Juan Soto of the Nationals. And then Pete Alonso, Ronald Acuna. So Alonso's the 2 seed. Kyle Schwarber's the 1. Schwarber's hit 28.
Is there anybody injured that could have been, that might have been in that competition had they not be injured?
Well, I don't know if it's due to injuries. I think some guys just aren't in it. Like Judge and Stanton aren't in it. They're not injured. They just played last night.
Wow, all of a sudden Seager became a power hitter. Lenny says Seager has 22 already on the season. Northwest Cabarrus. See, that's Kyle, right? Or have I got him backwards?
Corey.
Kyle's in. Is he still in Seattle?
I don't know.
Or is he even still in the league? I'm not sure either. Pete Alonso is going for his 3rd or 4th home run derby in a row, and Brett said earlier it's his 3rd he's shooting for, right? He's won 2 straight.
So Judge leads the majors with 31, and he's not in it.
Well, they're not hitting at Yankee Stadium, so
Jordan Alvarez.
those
from Houston.
246-foot shots won't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Alvarez has hit 26. He is injured. Austin Riley of Atlanta has hit 26. He's not in it.
Yeah, he's been hot lately, too.
Giancarlo
He's been tearing it
Stanton,
up.
Byron
Stanton,
Buxton.
I'm not a Yankee fan, you know that, but Stanton I love to watch bat. I mean, he's just he's got a unique swing, a unique stance, and but when he hits them and gets it all, he'll hit it as far as anybody, if not farther than anybody in the major leagues. You know, I mean, he's just. I put it this way: I wish he didn't play in pinstripes. I'd like to see him in Fenway on a permanent basis hitting. Don't always work that way. Julio Rodriguez has 16, says Lenny. So you got a guy that's just hit 16 that's going to be in the Derby. That don't mean he won't win the Derby, by no means. But Barry Bonds, 762. Hank Aaron, 755. Babe Ruth, 714. Are you listening to me, Mike?
I am.
Alex Rodriguez, 696. So you were right. He has finished 4 away from that 700 mark. Boy, it'd been tough for me to retire.
Oh, I know.
Knowing I just needed 4 more to get to.
To put you into that really.
And didn't he retire mid-season?
I don't know. Was it injury? Was he
forced
forced
to
out?
retire?
Yeah, that's what I wonder.
I
Somebody
can't
would have
remember,
picked him
but
up,
I think
though.
he retired in the middle of the season.
I mean, look at Robinson Cano. He hit 0.45, and he's playing with the Braves now.
Yeah.
I don't know what he hit, but it was awful. There was a time when his batting average just sunk to an all-time low. Lenny says Kyle Seager has retired, brother of Corey. But after Rodriguez, it's Pujols at 685. Pujols has been a class act. I wouldn't mind seeing him hit the 700 mark, you know. Willie Mays, who was third for a long time on this list now, 660. He's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th. Sixth
Mark
on the
McGuire
list.
somewhere in there.
Mark McGuire somewhere on there. Yeah, 11th. Mm-hmm. Care to name any more? Can you name the people
Sammy
ahead
Sosa.
of Mark McGuire? Sammy Sosa is, let's see, I know he's on that list, 609. He is 9th on the list, 2 ahead of McGuire.
Harmon Killebrew.
Harmon Killebrew, greatest name in sports.
Yeah.
12th, 573.
King Griffey Jr.?
Griffey Jr., 7th at 630. That's good. Still hadn't named number. So you've got now the top 6. Still haven't named number 10. No, you haven't named number 8 either. 8 and 10 are still on the. Obviously, they're not playing. They're not current because the only current on this list over 500. There's 2. There's Albert Pujols, who's over 500, and then one of my favorites on down there at 505, and he just hit 500 this year. So that ought to. Who is it?
Oh, Cabrera.
Yep.
Miguel Cabrera.
Yep, 505. He's hit 27. Well, no, that's not right. He's number 27. I wonder. Yeah. I'd like to see him hit in the Derby. But, of course, he may not announce this as his farewell tour, and I'll bet you if Miguel does that they'll stick him in that Derby as well. I said this. We talked about this a little bit last week, that Pujols always looks like he's mad at everybody, and Cabrera's the opposite. He looks like he's loves everybody and always smiling, and it's worked for both. The attitudes work for both, whatever approach they have taken. At number let's see. Mike Powell should have got this one at number 10. At number 8, Brett, very popular when you were growing up, played in Charlotte for a little while. 612 home runs. And then Mike should get this one because this one was popular when he was growing up. He's hit 586, and he is 10th. And if I'm not mistaken, he was the first ever. Here's you a great hint. He was the first ever player-manager in Major League Baseball. If I think that's right.
Robinson.
Frank Robinson.
Frank Robinson.
Yep.
Did Jim Thome, the other one?
There you go. And then it's Palmeiro. I don't think we mentioned it was Robinson, McGuire, Hit Killebrew, Rafael Palmeiro, which I don't think we mentioned him, did we?
No.
At all?
No.
In the list. Along with Reggie Jackson, 563.
Mr. October.
He hit 500 of those in October.
Yeah.
Manny Ramirez, he's one that you really don't think about being on this list because he always had a 300-plus batting average. You know, I mean, he was not. I mean, he was an average hitter as well. But 555 home runs. He's ahead of Mike Schmidt. Now, if you would have asked me that, I would have never guessed. And Lenny got Jim Thome as well. I would have never guessed that he was ahead of Mike Schmidt on that list.
Didn't we see Jim Thome and Manny Ramirez at the same time?
At the same time. Yes, we did. And it was when the Knights were affiliated with the Indians, and those guys were playing for the Knights. Or they had already gone to the Indians because the Indians came to town
came
and
to play the
Yep.
Knights.
Yep.
Eddie Murray was there.
Yep,
Eddie
sure
Murray.
was. Eddie Murray. Also on this list somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, he hit a bunch. I think he's over 500.
Yeah. Well, now, let's see if he is over 500. Over 500 list, Eddie Murray is the bottom one, 504. Good job. Lou Gehrig, 493, would fall on that list next. And Fred McGriff, 493.
Yeah.
You know, another one I wouldn't have thought would have been that high on the home run list. But you got Willie McCovey, Jimmy Fox, Frank Thomas, Ted Williams, Ernie Banks, Eddie Matthews, Mel Ott, a lot of old-timers there. Gary Sheffield, at 509. So, yeah, the closest one to 500 that didn't make it. Actually, there's a tie between Gehrig and McGriff, tied at number 29 all time on that list. Lenny says Murray 504. Yep, you see him play at Crockett Park. He and Cal Ripken Jr. playing at the same time down at Crockett Park for many years. The Red Sox did beat the Yankees last night in 11 innings, 5-4. Each team had 9 hits. There was one error made by the Red Sox, and
yeah, that was a big one.
When he threw it down out in the left field. See, I missed that. Heard about it, but when he threw it out in the left field, that allowed the Yankees. Now that allowed them to
tie it in the ninth.
Okay, tied in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, they had first and second with no outs, and the guy bunted, and the pitcher went to field the bunt and could have easily got the guy at third. He just threw it away.
Right.
So then you had second and third, no outs. They walked the next batter to load the bases, and then they got out of the inning.
Yeah, amazing.
With bases loaded, no outs.
I know pitchers are really good in the major leagues, but anytime any situation in the major leagues at any point in the game, if you got bases loaded, I'd like to see what the percentage is. Bases loaded, nobody out. What percentage of the time that inning goes scoreless?
Rarely, right?
You got to guess it's 10% or lower, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Just right off the top of your head. I mean,
I saw the Dodgers do it earlier this week. They had the bases loaded, no outs, and didn't score against the Cardinals. They hit 2 pop-ups and then a strikeout.
And what really amazes me with the batting lineup the Yankees have got, that it happened to them.
Yeah.
Because they're all about hitting the fly balls and, most of the time going out of the park, but if not, deep enough to get a run in. But that was an exciting game. I know. Like I said, it would have been heartbreaking to be on the losing end of that game one way or the other. But I would trade with the Yankees. I would take that loss to be 62-28 any day of the week, while Boston's sitting at 48-43. Phillies over the Marlins 2-1 last night. The Phillies score late, it says here, against Alcantara.
Yeah, he's been awesome this year.
So
and
it's major news if you beat him.
Name a lot of people don't know, but he's 9-4, 1.76 ERA, 123 strikeouts, and he's been the bright spot for Miami.
Talking about the Charlotte O's, Lenny says also John T-Bone Shelby and Durango Hayeswood play. I did see Hayeswood play there for those Charlotte teams. And that was back in the, I'm going to say, late 70s, early 80s is when those guys would have been playing at Crockett Park, which was a fabulous. Mike, you've been there, right?
Yes.
The old Crockett Park.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed going there. And was that on South Boulevard? I think it was just right on South Boulevard, if I'm not mistaken. The Braves beat the Nationals 8-4. The Braves have been really hot over the last few weeks, 55-37. I'd love to see what they were last year at this time, because what is that, 92 games? I would say they were maybe below 500 last year at this point after 92 games. Way ahead of pace right now. But, we all know it depends on how well you're playing, how hot you're playing when October rolls around. And the Braves just really got hot last fall and were able to win the championship. They may do it again a little different way this year, because they've been pretty dominant ever since I think they struggled about the first 2 weeks of the season to get things going. And after that, they've been rolling. Blue Jays over the Royals last night by a score of 8-1. It was Tampa. I got that wrong. No, that's right.
Yeah.
Orioles, confusing me here. Blue Jays over the Royals. Rays over the Orioles. It snapped a 10-game winning streak, Mike Powell, from the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah.
And now I would like to know how long it's been since the Orioles had a 10-game winning streak. They're 45-45 after
Not
that.
bad.
So they jumped over 500 for a day.
Mm-hmm.
But then they Roger says 17%. He looked at that, 17%. Unless he's a Rain Man and just knew that off the top of his head. That would be awesome. 17% bases loaded goes scoreless. So under 20. I would even thought it was lower than that. Lenny says that Crockett Park just off Magnolia Avenue, just off of South Boulevard. So back in the day. So let's see. Moving on down the list here, Rays 5, Orioles 4. We mentioned that broke the streak. The Tigers fall to the Guardians 6-5. The Mariners over the Rangers 8-10. What's the 12 in a row? Is that what I'm reading here? 12 wins in a row for Seattle. Another streak from a team that is 7 games. This is probably the most underrated team in America right now, or at least the least known about, because this team's 7 games over 500.
Can you name any players on the Mariners?
Yes, Cal Raleigh.
Yeah.
Smoky Mountain High School. That's maybe the only one I can name, but yes, I can name him. King Felix still there?
I don't think so.
Yeah, been retired 5 years, maybe. Yeah, they win last night 8-3. 12 strikeouts for Ray, a slam for J-Rod. Who is J-Rod?
That's Julio Rodriguez.
Julio. Okay, that's the one you're talking about. Okay, so he's going to be worth watching.
He's 21 years old.
Oh, that's great.
And he's hit 16 home runs, hitting 275.
Yep. What about the Soto for Washington? He's not listed in that
home run derby.
Yeah,
he
is. Yeah, he's one I enjoy watching bat too. A lot of power, and because he's very young too, right? 21, 22.
Nah, he's older than that.
Is he? Maybe that's when he was in the World Series. He was
probably
maybe 20.
He's probably 25 now.
Okay. The White Sox beat the Twins 6-2 last night. The A's over the Astros 5-1. Astros still sitting at 58-31. A very good record. Will be a force, I think, come October. Somebody to have to deal with in the playoffs if they stay healthy. A lot of this has to do with staying healthy. The Cardinals over the Reds 7-3. The Rockies 13-2 over the Pirates. Brett's Dodgers down the other team from Southern California, and it's not the Padres. The Angels 9-1 last night. No details listed there. You didn't stay awake for that whole thing, did you?
Kershaw was perfect through 7 and gave up a hit in the 8th.
You didn't stay awake. I guess you did. You stayed awake?
No, I read that. Well, they were up 8-0 when I went to sleep.
Okay. The Pods beat the D-backs 5-3 last night. The Giants beat up on the Brewers 8-5. Mike's Giants 3 games over 500 now. Mike Powell.
Grand slammed ended by Mike Yastrzemski.
I can't get a better name than that.
Nope.
Yep. I still say let's go ahead and get that free agent deal done and send him to Fenway where he belongs.
They scored 6 in the bottom of the ninth. They were down 5-2.
You just don't see that very often.
Going into the ninth, and that was against Josh Hader, one of the best relief pitchers in baseball.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just 3 games over 500, 12 back, I think, of the Dodgers. Something like that.
And they were all home runs, 2 solo homers, and then a grand slam.
Wow. Yastrzemski game-ending grand slam. I wish I'd have been watching when he hit the game-ending grand slam.
Yeah, me too.
I know he didn't need all the runs to win the game, but, it's still – well, they were down 1, though.
Yeah,
they were down 1, which makes it even more exciting. How many outs, I wonder? That's, 2 outs even makes it even better. But, either way, it's one of the most exciting things. The walk-off home run is amazing anyway, but when it's a grand slam, makes it just a little more special.
Hader may lead the league in saves, but look at his record, 0-4 and a 4.50 ERA. I guess it really doesn't matter.
Well, but in that position, Mike, you're never going to get a win.
No, you're not going to get a win.
I mean, it's going to be rare, and if you're the closer, that you're going to have an opportunity to get a win. They're not going to bring you in behind. The only way you can get a win is to lose the lead and gain it back.
Yeah, it's 27 saves out of 29 chances.
That's where you're.
And he's got 52 strikeouts in 30 innings.
Closer.
52
strikeouts in 30 innings.
Brother of Bill.
Yeah.
Mets and Cubs rained out, so it did rain somewhere last night. It rained in Chicago, Illinois, the Mets and the Cubs. We'll make that one up on July 16th. That's today.
Yep.
That means they're playing a doubleheader today. We're going to take a timeout. We appreciate you tuning in. We're going to look at the Major League Baseball standings when we come back and get into some Legion baseball as well. But right now, we're going to take a timeout. Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And welcome back. Sports Talk. David, Mike, and Brett here with you on a sunny, beautiful, warm, humid July the 16th. Saturday morning. It's just the way it is. All the H's you can think of. Hazy, hot, humid. Hellacious, right, Mike Powell? Another H.
Downright hellacious, as Coach Bryant used to say about Baton Rouge on a Saturday night.
Yeah, and that was even though it was hot and miserable, and muggy there. He wasn't even really talking about that.
No,
he wasn't even really talking about those conditions. It was, the Baton Rouge fans they like to they like the night games. It gives them more time to prepare.
It just seems weird when they play a day game there.
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah,
why would you when you could? Especially, especially in September.
Yeah.
I mean, they try to make them special. They really do. They try to make, and they don't wear the purple jerseys that often. They try to make that special too. But my God, in September, I mean, if I'm at home and they're playing non-conference games, they're home 3 out of 4 of them probably.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd schedule those things for the nighttime. That's just.
It's the right time.
Yeah.
Yes.
That brutal heat down there on that bayou. Lenny says that the Boston Red Sox have a 4-4 record against the Yankees this year, a losing record against everybody else in the division. So how about that? They're below 500 against Tampa, Toronto, and Baltimore, and they're probably below 500. I know that. I think they even beat themselves sometimes. You've heard teams say they beat themselves. They're probably below 500 against themselves too. But although as bad as it's been, they've lost 7 out of 10. They're still hanging on 5 games over 500, and they're not in last place. The Yankees are well out in front, and barring a collapse, they're going to win the division. They haven't been as dominant as they were the first 2 months of the season, but
no.
It's leveled off a little bit, but as a matter of fact, I never expected to see this. They're 4-6 in their last 10.
They've struggled.
Yeah,
a bit.
But they're still 62-28, and there's not many teams out there that wouldn't trade the 4-6 in 10 games to still be 62-28. I wouldn't think. They lead Tampa by 12 games, lead Toronto by 14.5, Boston by 14.5, and Baltimore by 17. Minnesota leads the Central now, 49-43, 2.5 over the Cleveland Guardians. Got that one right. I'll probably mess somebody else up. The White Sox are 3 back, Detroit 11.5 back, and Kansas City 12 games out of first place.
Is that about as sure as death and taxes that Kansas City will always finish last in that division?
That's not sure this year, Mike. They're only a half game out of fifth or fourth.
Okay.
I mean, that.
That's true.
I can promise you this: Kansas City is not the worst team in baseball.
That honor belongs to.
Well, I don't know, but it's. We'll get there in a minute. I mean, look at Oakland's record.
And Kansas City just won a World Series 5 or 6 years ago.
Hasn't been real long. The Astros, 58-31, lead the American League West. If you look at it in the loss column, the Astros now are just 3 games back of the Yankees for that best record in the American League. Just kind of steady, keeping pace. Didn't go away. But the Astros, 58-31, lead the Mariners by 10 games, and the Mariners are 7 games over 500. Right. 12 straight wins for those guys. Texas, 41-47, is 16.5 back.
Blah blah blah, like they always.
Yeah. Okay. What is it, Brett? What's the Rangers? They tried to go out and improve their team, getting Seager, who's I don't know what his batting average is, but he's got 22 homers. I know he's played solid defense. He's not going to struggle on the defensive side. So if he's lived up to his billing and earning his money. What is it, pitching?
Yeah, probably so.
I mean, they've outscored their opponents by 4.
Yeah.
402 to 398. 398 sounds like a pretty high number if you're going to contend.
Seager's hitting 246.
which isn't terrible.
They also had a Marcus Simeon, another infielder, is hitting 239, and that 12 home runs. He was another one of their big signings. But other than those two, I mean, I don't really know any of these guys, and I don't know anybody on their pitching staff.
Wow. And that's a big market. That Dallas area is a big market, and they should be. You would think that they would be. Okay, I'll put it this way. I don't even know who the owner of the Texans. I mean, of the Texas Rangers is. I do know who the owner of the Texans is. I do not know who the owner of the Texas Rangers is, but I would not think money is a factor for the owner of that franchise
No, I wouldn't either.
To get better and do what you see teams like New York and Boston and Los Angeles and San Francisco, some of those teams spend the money and try to make their team more competitive. But sometimes you just miss out. I mean, everybody's not going to hit on, everybody's not going to hit on the right free agents, right? To help their baseball team. Let's see, where did I leave off? Did I go
Angels?
Angels, thank you.
Similar,
right. Yeah,
similar to Texas.
Yeah. The Angels.
They have more stars than Texas does.
The Angels, though, I don't expect it. I don't know why, but I just don't expect it. And they won a World Series how long ago? 10 years?
No.
Not been that long?
No, more like 20.
Yeah.
Oh, has it been that long?
2003.
And that was because the reason I know that, they brought back one of their players that hit a big home run in that series or something. They brought him. I was watching the game a Sunday or two ago, and they had him back at the park that day and recognized him and stuff. So I guess it was that long. But who would that be, Brett? Who would that guy be? If you named him, I'd probably know it, but I can't think of it right off the top of my head. Kind of a mullet, I think, when he was playing. Maybe it was a big home run in the World Series. In that World Series that I'm thinking about.
I don't know.
Yeah, they are kind of obscure, but totally understand.
I can't remember who their best players were. I know Mike Sosa was their manager when they won it. They beat the Giants, and I think it was 03.
Mike Sosa, is he still in baseball?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
Unless he's in like the front office for somebody or something.
I can't even go back in history and think of notable players for them.
Angels, Rod Carew.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, Carew.
Yep.
Okay.
They also added Marcus Simeon. This is the Rangers last year to the.
Yeah.
They like you're saying. So, I don't know what's going on with the Rangers and the Angels. I don't know if. Okay. Well, we either hammered or took up for golf, and Richard did ask me, would I take the money and go and leave the PGA Tour if I had the opportunity to have guaranteed money? Yeah, I don't have the money. I don't have the money that those,
Yeah,
I understand the veterans that have been around. Now, like he said, the old guy like Mickelson did it. He's got plenty of money. He's not ever going to have to work again.
He didn't need the money.
But he jumped ship to go. I guess one way to look at it in Mickelson's eyes or whatever in his brain, his thought process is this is his last chance, his last 3 to 5 years. Might as well get the guaranteed money because how many tournaments is he going to win? And how many would it take? How many tournaments would he have to win to get the money that is promised him? You know what I mean? Or not promised him. How many tournaments we have to win? Yeah. To get what's promised him in the LIV Tour, I guess is where I'm going to go. Yeah. There's not many human beings, I wouldn't think, even if you hate it, love it, or whatever. Money does talk. So I probably couldn't pass it up. If you're gonna tell me I can go over here and play in the PGA Tour, and if I win one tournament this year, and I bring home $3 million, or go over here and play, and I'll guarantee you $75 million, whether you win anything or not. What am I gonna do? I mean, that's a no-brainer, right?
What is the long-term financial objective of LIV? To make money, to gain prestige, to...
I think prestige might be the,
lure a better field of competitors than...
I don't know what kind of money they're getting on TV contracts or anything like that, but I would think the way they're paying the golfers, they got, at best, they're at break even, right? I mean, I don't see how, but they don't care. I don't think in the early stages how many businesses make money in their first or in their first 5 years.
Long game.
Yep. Only Amazon is the only thing can make money in Amazon and
you
maybe
probably
Twitter.
missed out on Prime Days this week too. Didn't you?
I did. Yeah. Sorry to say. I bet Brett didn't. I bet Brett
I did.
got something.
I saw a couple deals, but then they passed by.
What'd you get on Prime Day,
No,
Ryan?
I didn't get anything
Nothing.
from Amazon. I got something from Nike because they had big deals to.
I think a lot of people did that. Jumped in and said, "Well, if they're going
Yeah.
to do it, we got to jump in here and match."
Speaking of shoes, Brett, I'm looking for a good quality cross training shoe. Any recommendations?
Now we're doing commercials here for
you can tell me off the air.
cross training.
You know what I mean?
shoes.
Cross training. You can do a little everything with them. You can run. You can train in the gym.
You can run, you can train. Or cross.
Or cross. You can even cross if you want.
National League standings. The New York Mets 56-34. They still lead the Braves by 2 games. They did beat the Braves this week 2 out of 3, right? And I'm guessing that they'll probably play again after the All-Star break. I don't know that, but that's usually the way it works. Play them at home, then play them on the road. So the Mets won 2 out of 3, I think it was, in Atlanta to maintain or even add a game to their lead, actually. So they're 56-34, but the Braves are just 2 games back, keeping a lot of heat on the Mets. Don't count out the Phillies. I think the Phillies, they impressed me. It's a pretty good baseball team. They also got a couple key players injured right now. But they're 9 games back. I think they could still be a playoff team. Brett, you and I were discussing the other day how many teams are going to be in the playoffs. It's 3 wild cards. I heard last night before one of the games signed off that so that's 6 right?
on each side.
3 division winners.
Yeah.
3 division winners and 3. So I'm guessing 2 of the wild cards is still going to play a 1 game, right?
I don't know.
Because you got to get it to 4. You got to get it to 4, so I'm guessing 2 of the.
I don't know how that'll work.
I don't either. It'll be interesting though. The more the better. Whoever was doing it last night was talking about how much better it is in Major League Baseball, Mike, to get more cities involved in the playoffs. I mean, the NBA has done it with their 16, or even more now when you got the play-in games.
Sure.
So the NBA's done it. The NFL has gone. They've added. There's 7 on each side, 14 teams. Major League Baseball is just getting up to 12. So it is good. I think it is good. The more teams you can have in the playoffs, the more interest there is, and especially when baseball seems to be, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong, but baseball seems to be the most top-heavy of the 4 major sports.
Yes, no doubt. The haves and the have-nots. Yeah.
You got the bottom feeders who are just absolutely
have no chance from day one.
No, right. And then you've got the teams like the big markets, the Braves, the Mets, the Astros, the Yankees, the Red Sox, although the Red Sox aren't living up to it quite as much this year. I will hand it to Milwaukee, though. They're in first place. Milwaukee and St. Louis. But then, that division, though, I will say, is pretty much full of mid-market teams except for the Cubs. And then the Cubs are, 21 games below 500. So go
But what if you were a fan of the Washington Nationals and you went to their home games? They're 14-35 at home.
Yeah.
Which is the worst in baseball.
And you're one happy season ticket holder, right? You just get to go watch them get pounded. Another one, like Brett said, the Angels, or not the Angels, but who were we talking about a few minutes ago that won a World Series just a few years back?
Kansas City.
And now
Washington
even more
won
recent.
one.
Even more recent
Washington,
was Washington.
2019, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, just a couple years ago. Now they're 30-62. So what changed? What changed for?
Well, were there massive player personnel changes?
Well, Max Scherzer's gone.
Yeah.
Steven Strasburg is hurt all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And those were their 2 best pitchers.
And that has been from the get-go for
Bryce Harper wasn't there when they won the World Series, but before that,
he was.
They let him go.
Yeah. Which is amazing. One of the best
and
players
they had
in
that
baseball.
amazing run. Weren't they below 500 well into the
Anthony
second half of the
Rendon
season?
was one of their better players. He's
Yeah,
gone.
Anthony
Well, they obviously weren't the favorite going into the playoffs.
No, they weren't. They were kind of like the Braves last year.
Yeah, very
They just got
similar
hot
run.
late in the season and kept it going.
They did. Let's see. The Marlins are 12.5 out. The Nationals are 30-62. 27 games out of first place in the National League East.
I think Miami's even more forgotten than Seattle is, typically.
And they're not that 43 and 46.
It's not that bad.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's so weird how professional sports in Florida, for the most part, struggle. I guess I don't know the attendance for the Tampa Lightning in hockey, but it seems to be a very strong organization. So I'm guessing their attendance is up pretty high. But you go, it's nothing to get tickets to a Rays game in Tampa. Now I'd say the Bucks tickets are pretty.
I would think so.
Hard to get right now, especially with Brady
With
still
Brady
in town.
there, still there.
But Miami, Miami's just it's more college. Yet the Canes haven't been good in how many years? I mean, relevant that they've actually been in the national title hunt.
I think you already go
20 years
back to the
probably
early 2000s.
Yeah.
But the Dolphins, I mean, I think the Dolphins are improving, but you don't. It's not like must see TV or must have tickets yet.
No.
For the Dolphins, they are. I think they are headed in the right direction finally. Even though it's all new now because they fired a coach and got a new one coming in, right? The Marlins are just there. The Miami Heat, they're relevant more often than they're not.
Yeah,
so I'm guessing
they've got really good management.
Yeah,
they do.
Pat Riley and then Eric Spoelstra, they're going to be good as long as those two guys are there.
And I expect Miami to be a hopping, booming sports town. I really do. I mean, I expect that out of that city. But to me, Mike always says that NFL's better when that team's good, and I just say Miami sports are better when the Canes are good.
Yeah.
More so than anybody else. I mean, they just get more publicity when the Canes are a top 10 team or a top 5 team in football. I think that's what keeps that city rolling. But right now you got a new generation anyway, so I don't know what the top thing is down there. But Mike got me off on that one just because he talked about them being pretty much irrelevant, even though they're only 3 games below 500. And it seems like nobody in that division really wants to play them either because they seem to play. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I'm telling you wrong, but it seems like they usually play well against their division rivals. The small market division, with the exception of the Cubs here, I already mentioned that. The Brewers lead the division at 50 and 41, then the Cardinals at 49 and 44. They're just 2 games back. Giving you love there, Butch. Don't hang me out to dry. Cardinals 49-44. I've been watching them a lot too. The Pirates are 12 games back. The Cubs 15, and the Reds are 15.5. I think the Reds beat the Yankees this week, though, 2 out of 3.
They did,
if I'm not mistaken.
That was one of our friends reminded me yesterday.
And could easily won all 3. The Dodgers 59 and 30. Brett, if I tell you at the beginning of the year you'll be sitting at 59 and 30 after 89, you'd take it, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's a good record, really good record. 30 and 13 at home.
It's
which
only
is really amazing.
Only a couple games behind the Yankees now for
best record,
best in the whole league.
Yeah,
and they're on a 9-1 roll in their last 10.
Not bad. The Padres are 51 and 41. All of a sudden, what was a tight race now is stretched out to 9.5 games. San Francisco 46 and 43, 13 back. The Rockies are 18 back, and the D-backs are 20 and a half games out of first place. Brett, while you stepped out and took a phone call, we were talking about it. Is Major League Baseball what you would say the most top-heavy sport out of the 4 majors? It is, isn't it? Because like Mike said, not half the league, but probably 30% of the league had no chance starting on day one, and that's sad to see.
The NBA even has more good teams than Major League Baseball does.
Yep. I mean, I'm just looking here. Teams that haven't got to 40 wins yet, and they've played 90. So you got the Diamondbacks, the Reds, the Cubs, the Pirates, the Nationals, barely at 30 there. The A's, the Angels, the Royals, the Tigers. The worst team in the American League East is even 500. So that's a stout division. But I think I just named 9 teams. 9 teams that aren't at 40 wins yet. Yet you have the Yankees at 62, the Mets at 56. You see where I'm going here. I mean, it's just way out of kilter. I would like to see something done, Major League Baseball. Probably never happen, because I don't know if we'll ever see a salary cap or anything put in place that'll limit these guys from just loading up their rosters every single year. And my team's one of them. They try to, the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Dodgers, I'll throw into that mix. Trying to buy championships, and you know what? I'm not faulting. I'm not blaming it, because give me that opportunity and I've got the money. Mm-hmm. It's the league. It's that it's allowed is what I'm against. It's not those teams, because if I'm allowed to do it, I'm doing it. As long as I've got the cash to do it to make my team competitive, I'm going to do it. And some of those teams, just like the Mets, what were they last year at this time? I'd love to see their record differential from a year ago, and now 22 games over 500 here right on the weekend just before the All-Star break. That's a big turnaround. That just shows you what money can do. Who was their big studs that they brought in? Brett Lindor.
Yeah, well, they got him last year.
Yeah,
during the season. Scherzer.
And that's where Lindor's kind of not the prototypical go after guy to change my franchise in a way, because you look, to me, it's like adding the power hitters and the pitchers. The starting pitchers and the power hitters, and that's what the Yankees have done. I mean, they've added several power hitters to that lineup and a starting pitcher or two along the way. But I will say this: I think it was Montgomery that pitched last night. Is that right?
I think it was
for the Yankees. Yeah. And anybody that follows local baseball will remember that Montgomery was the big pitcher that pitched for Sumter in Shelby in the Legion World Series a few years back. I say a few years back. It's probably been at least 10 now. Mm-hmm. And then he went on to South Carolina and played for the Gamecocks for a few years before getting in the minors, and now a starter with the Yankees. Pretty good pitcher.
3.27 ERA.
Yep. His win, what do you see his one loss record?
He's 29 years old, so it would have been 10 or 11 years ago.
So there's your rundown of Major League Baseball. We're going to take another time out. Fourth quarter coming up. Got to talk about some Legion baseball that winding down here in Area 4 when we come back.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit MooneyInsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call 4 Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And welcome back. Final segment of our show this morning. Thank you for tuning in to Sports Talk. Glad to have you with us. Can't go without mentioning Lincoln. This not just Lincoln High School, but Lincoln, the town of Lincoln, lost a legend this week in the passing of Kojak.
That's right.
Kenny Hamright passing away on. And I got my day. I saw this and I got my days mixed up because I don't know if it was. Yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm sure if Jason is tuned in, Jason can give me the details. 65 years old, Coach Cloninger and I have been conversing back and forth a little bit this morning.
That was confirmed.
Through text. Said he was 65 years old. Had, for those that know Kojak, know his situation and everything,
right,
and know everything. You see him lead the football team out. Used to see him lead the band. You see him lead whatever he wanted to lead.
Yep.
Fixture at Lincoln High School for I don't know how many years, probably 20 or better.
Yeah, at least.
And just stories done on him by the Charlotte Observer, the Gaston Gazette, the Lincoln Times News. Just always something going on. And just.
Would you say that he's one of the most recognizable citizens of Lincoln?
Sure.
I would.
Yeah, sure. Roamed the streets for as long as he did. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You compare him to Radio, the movie Radio that took place in, I can't remember the town in South Carolina, but, the story of
there
Radio.
There is similarities, are similarities.
Yep. But just a well-known fixture, had health issues over the last 2 to 3, even longer than that, but they just gradually got worse, and passed away this week, and obviously he will be missed because that's it was just something you expected to see, especially on Friday nights during football season. You expected to see him.
Yeah, and if you hung around the Lincoln athletics program at all, he was a constant figure there, and
if you drove,
well-loved,
if you drove down Main Street,
you
would see. Sometimes you thought there was more than one of him.
He was one of those special people in a small town that's kind of cared for by the community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very special person.
Very kind.
He was.
Always liked to cut up. I know he always used to like to cut up with Coach Cloninger and many others. And
Oh yeah, they
just
had their little
have a good time.
sayings.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yep.
Just.
Yep, that'll be. He'll definitely be missed, and the people of Lincoln. I'm sure there'll be something done
They should be
to honor him during the
Yeah,
football
up
season
to,
coming up. probably.
downtown or something, some kind
Yep.
of.
Well, even at one of the games too.
Celebration
I'm
of
sure.
life,
I'm
yeah.
sure at one of the games there'll be something dedicated to him or
I would think
Kojak
so.
night or
Maybe
something
a program,
like that. Yep,
something should
yep,
happen.
Yep. And I can't imagine. Cannot imagine at this point that there won't be. As we turn our attention to American Legion baseball, Mike, the Cherryville Post 100, who has participated in the state tournament the last couple of years, got their backs against the wall now after dropping the first two games to the Gaston Braves. And, I won't say either way, I won't say that the Gaston Braves have been dominant at all
No.
in this series, but
No.
they have been the better team.
They have been.
They have been the better team in the first two games, and if Cherryville's going to climb out of a 2-0 deficit, they've really got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, in almost every area. Offensive punch when it counts, in the late innings. Even though Cherryville's pitching has been, I would say, good, decent.
It has. It's been good enough to win.
Been good enough to win with some offensive production to back it up. But you look at the two pitchers for the Braves, Chase Stewart on opening night, and last night, of course, Parker Augusta. Went
Whose
the
brother
distance.
was the twin brother was the catcher.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know if I've ever seen that before.
No.
Yep.
Both
And-
those guys went the distance, got the wins, 4-0 and then 3-2 last night. I think last night's game was a little bit harder to swallow, given the fact that Cherryville got a good performance mostly from Zane Brockman until the sixth, of course, when he had the explosion, home run explosion by the Braves, and then we mentioned the top of the seventh when the game seemed to turn. Base runner thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double. That certainly probably was a huge factor in thwarting what looked like a comeback effort by Post 100. They cut the lead to 3-2 and would have had, a runner on first with no outs before that play happened.
Yep. I don't know. I mean, there's not a whole lot of ways to put it. They've just things just haven't gone their way in the first two games here, and I'm not going to say they can't overcome. Be in a much larger hole if it was a 3 out of 5 series right now, instead of a 4 out of 7. But
if they win tonight at home at Fraley, suddenly. I don't know that it really puts them back in this series, but it gives them a fighting chance.
But I will say this, Mike, you're down 0-1 going into last night's game, and you lost that game. You were beating that game from start to finish. Last night's is going to be hard to overcome because they led most of the game 1-0.
They played well enough to win.
Yep. They led most of the game 1-0, and then 2 home runs in the bottom of the sixth, a solo shot and a 3-run homer. And all of a sudden you're down 2 runs, and you only got 1 at bat left, 3 outs, and they.
But Coach Reynolds was pushing the right buttons there at the end. They had a couple pinch hitters.
Oh yeah, they came through.
They came through for them. He juggled the lineup a little bit, but really the problem for Post 100, David, I don't know whether you would agree, just has really been a lack of offensive punch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had runners on at times, leadoff runners, just haven't been able to score but 2 runs in the 2 games.
Yep. And we talked about the other series that's going on in Area 4, and that was Rutherford and Queen City. Queen City won game 1 2-1 to take a 1-0 lead, and then last night got 1 inning in, and both teams scored 2 runs in the first inning. So that will be picked up today at 3:00 at whatever that long name of that park is, Tuckasegee Dreams, something like that. So there again, Queen City, which you think is the favorite. I told you I thought they were. I want to go back and look because I should have I done this yesterday and didn't take the time to do it. The last time a Mecklenburg County team made the state tournament, I'd like to know when that was. Was it Pineville back in 2000, the early 2000s? Was that the last time?
You have to go back that far.
I don't know. I can't remember if somebody's done it. I don't recall one since then.
We know that Union County
made it a couple years ago, but not. I can't recall a Mecklenburg team getting in there. Brett, you're the memory guy. Do you remember Mecklenburg?
I do remember Pineville.
Well,
back
I know
when they were good in probably 2005 or so.
Well, in 2000,
really good in 2003.
In 2003 is the year Cherville beat them in Fayetteville in the championship.
Right.
Yeah,
well, I remember being good more recent than that.
They have.
I think they probably made the state tournament, but this would have been 2005,
right.
2006, somewhere around in there.
But I can't recall another Mecklenburg team. Queen City though they've got everything it takes. I mean, they're fundamentally sound. They hit enough. They got good pitching. They play good defense, and that's kind of what teams are winning with today.
But David, the Braves are now 20-4. They came into this series 18-4 and 2-0 up 2-0 in the series against Cherryville. Pretty good ball club.
Yeah.
Who coaches them now?
Kenneth Paysor.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Who I think is the coach at Highland Tech.
Is he?
I believe so.
Former coach was Mark King, right? And he was he's still in the picture. He's still part of the. He's the one that we talked to quite a bit last night. We were getting set up, and was very kind and helped us out.
They play in all these games at South Point, all of their home games.
As far as I know. They did use Gaston Christian's field during the regular season because they got 3 Gaston.
I think they got 3 kids from Gaston Christian,
including the game one winner. The game one winner.
They use Gaston Christian product.
Yep.
7 schools contribute to their roster.
Just reading here real quick. Thanks, Jason, for following up with me. We were talking about the passing of Kojak. Jason said it was yesterday morning around 11 a.m. When Kojak passed away. It says, Jason said in talking to his mom last night, the funeral's expected to be next Saturday, but it hasn't been finalized yet, and he's going to let me know just as soon as that is finalized. Lenny said, while we're talking about Kojak, T.L. Hanna is the high school in radio. This one in South Carolina, it's T.L. Hanna. And I remember, and I think I've got this right, we had a coach from North Carolina that retired in North Carolina in the last, I'd say 5 years, maybe within the last 5 years, and went to T.L. Hanna and coached at that high school. And that coach was Jimmy Ollis, if I'm not mistaken, from Polk County. Somebody can tell me if I got my name wrong on that, but I think it was Coach Ollis from Polk that went to, and I think he's already been there 5 years and come back to North Carolina, but I'm not 100% sure on that. If Coach Cloninger, he's got a lot going on this morning, I know, with youth baseball, but I know he could answer that question. I just don't know if he's listening at the moment. Lenny says that Zane Brockman pitched well last night. Might have been a little gassed by the 6th because he only had 7 innings.
He did get rocked that inning.
Yeah, he only pitched 7 innings on the season.
That's right.
But
good point.
But like Lenny said, the final sentence there: where do you turn?
I was thinking about that too. I mean, you look at the Matthews series, Game 3. They started Johnny Blackburn.
Johnny wishes he would have started.
Wishes he would have started. Yeah, Will Blackburn, and I think he struggled, and I'm not sure. I kind of lost track of who they brought in after that. But who do they go with tonight in a game they just about have to have?
Well, on the way home last night, Mike, while you and I were driving, I got a couple text messages, and one of them said, does Cherville have enough pitching depth to come back in this series? And I gave an honest answer as I could, and I just said I wouldn't think so.
It doesn't appear so based on what we've seen.
Yeah, they seem to be like every other sport there is. I use this term a lot, top heavy. Yep. Their best guys they're throwing early. I don't know. They're going to have to get.
They've thrown their best guys.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. they've used their. I would think, just by watching what they've done this season and how they've pitched, yes, they've used their two best pitchers maybe in game 1 and game 2, and they come up empty in both of those. And a lot of times, you see pitchers come back and throw early. Of course, Cherville's going to have to get to game 5 before they can even think about using a guy again. But in this Legion ball, there's no days off like for travel like there is in the major leagues and things like that, where you get that extra day. And there's also no pitch count in the major leagues, so you see people come back all the time and pitch on 3 days rest. Well, in Legion baseball, if they pitch their max amount of pitches, they got to have the full 4 days off, right, before they can set foot back. 4 or 5, whatever it is.
I'm looking at the roster, David, just at the guys who might.
You don't name any names now. We don't want to say anything negative. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just saying guys that we've seen pitch before. Noah Huss is a pitcher.
And he's been effective.
We've seen Landon Hahn pitch a bit, normally an infielder.
Huss has usually been used in relief work, right?
Yep. Cannon Willis has taken to the mound for them. But yeah, and
it can be anybody's night. They can step out there and get the job done on any given night. Lenny says Kenneth Paysar is the coach at Highland Tech, and his dad was the head coach for several years at North Gaston, Jack Paysar. And I remember when he had a strong program at North Gaston. They were, I think they were state title contenders a couple times. I won't say maybe while he was in charge down there. I may be wrong about that, but it seemed like they had a very good program at North Gaston.
I'm just figuring it's going to be pitching by committee for Cherville tonight. I don't know.
I guess that's the only thing. If positives and when you're down 2-0, there's not many.
No.
But the one thing they can feel pretty good about is they haven't used many pitchers.
No, they only used 2.
Yeah, I was going to ask, did game 1, did he go all the way? And did he? Are you sure he went all the way?
Let me look back.
My book right here, but I can't. And that would have been Webb, right? I can't remember if Webb did go. I think they got him out, Mike. That's why they were stalling during that game, was to get the next pitcher ready so he could get him out, so he could come back a day earlier.
Chase Miller came in the 5th.
Yeah. So they have used 3.
Yep, they have used Miller. 3. So.
But last night,
Miller played last night, but not he didn't see any mound work.
Yeah, Brockman last night did go the distance in that loss, but that I guess if there is one plus for them, they haven't used many arms. But like you said, Mike, there's not a dominant one now. Just to go out there and put it this way: if Cherville don't get the bats going, they're not going to advance.
No.
If they don't start producing some runs, and I'm talking about, I think they got to score at least 4 a game. You got to score at least 4. I would think, to be in these games.
They didn't exactly tear it up offensively in the series against Matthew.
No.
One game was 3-1.
The 7-0 game, nobody scored to the 5th.
That's right.
There was 4 shutout innings on both sides in that game, and Cherville did not score till the bottom of the 5th, and then in I didn't follow. You and I did not do game 3 in that series.
Really
didn't make it down or game 2, whatever it was.
Was it 9-6?
It was actually game 3. They just played the first 2 at Cherville, but 9-6. They did score 9 runs, but I hadn't seen the numbers on how many hits they had in that contest to see if they were hitting the ball or if they had some. Give it to them. And you got to do this too. When the other team makes mistakes, you got to capitalize. You got to take advantage. If they make an error, you got to make them pay for it. If they walk a couple batters, hit a couple batters, you got to make them pay for it. We talked about it last night, first inning. Cherville had 2 on, first 2 guys.
Yeah.
Nobody out, and they came away empty.
Well, you turned to me during the break and said that was not a good start.
No, it's not. Not when you just lost the night before and you get 2 on to start the game and you strand them.
It proved pathetic.
It did. They just, And I told you how many times in any baseball of any level is 1 run going to hold up. You just don't see a whole lot of – if it's going to hold up, it's going to be in the major leagues where the pitching is so dominant. But in any other level, college, Legion, high school, whatever, you do not see many 1-0 games,
I guess a lot depends, David, on what do the Braves have left as far as pitching. have we seen their best two guys? My guess is we have, at least during the regular season and into the playoffs.
Yeah, I can't remember when their series ended. Sometimes they had a few days off though, so I'm guessing they went with 1 and 2.
Yeah, you would think.
In those.
And both of those did the job.
Yeah, they were. I'm not so sure. Last night's starter, Augusta, I'm not
Parker
so sure he
Augusta.
didn't look better than the game 1 starter.
I did. I thought so too.
Yeah, because Cherville was hitting some fly balls in the game and getting the bat on the ball, and you and I talked about how the game 1 starter, help me with his name. He was not overpowering. He was not dominating,
Stewart,
but he just kept recording outs.
Yeah.
He just kept recording outs.
Well, it's not because Cherville's been striking out a lot. They only struck out once last night against Parker Augusta. But they just haven't been getting base hits or hitting line drives or hitting the ball on the nose. A lot of fly ball outs in both games.
Yep. Lenny says Coach Reynolds took way about in the middle of a count on a batter, so he
That's
probably
right.
had some pitches left somewhere along the way. So what that means is instead of I don't even know how many days it is, but it saved a day. Is what it is. It got him out in the number where he could come back a day earlier than if he had thrown one more pitch.
My guess
what all that
is
was
tonight
about.
we could see Miller to start off with. We could see Blackburn, perhaps. Cannon Willis. I don't know. We'll find out.
The weird thing now about the pitching rules, go over a certain number, you can't even pitch the next day because it's number of pitches, and you got to sit out a full 24 hours, or and can come back the day after that. But it's changed it. It's changed it. I mean, there's a lot of pitchers that wouldn't have any problem going out there on the mound and giving you 2 innings every day. Just about every day they go out, but can't do it. It's not. It's just not that way anymore. You cannot do it, and it's kind of changed high school and Legion baseball, and really makes it harder to coach those two teams, the high school and the Legion team, the way it's set up today. It's like a game of chess almost is a good way to put it. Cherville down 2-0 game 3 tonight at Fraley Field in Cherville, right here on WLON, as well as our website. Tune in just about any way you want to look at it.
And give the folks that website again and the order of it.
1050WLON.com. Lenny says no more Chris Mason. And that has been a while, and that's I know what he's saying there. Mason come out there and pitch for you. He would go 9 innings every day if you let him.
If you let him,
If the rules allowed it, back then it was 9-inning games, and he would. He was a gamer. There's no doubt about that. With the rubber arm, it didn't seem like it. Didn't seem like it ever got tired. Cherville down 2-0. Don't forget the other series, the Rutherford County and Queen City. 1-0. Queen City on top with game 2 suspended and starting today at 3:00.
Oh, that's at East Rutherford High School.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
It was yesterday.
Oh.
It was yesterday. Don't you know that the rules? You switch, you go back, right? Unless they have some kind of agreement. It says here, Game 2, July 16th at Tuckasegee Dreams Park in Charlotte. Completion of that game, and then they'll start Game 3 later in the evening, also at Tuckasegee Dreams Park. Doesn't matter how far along you are, the rules state the game's suspended, and you go to the other park. And complete it. So all of a sudden, it's like basically, with the exception of 1 inning, Queen City's going to play the first 3 games on their home field, but that's just the way it is, and that's just so that rain doesn't dominate the series. I mean, you wouldn't want to go back up there today and play and drive and play the rest of the night, and you're definitely not going to wait a day.
Yep.
Because you have to have all these games in a certain amount of time.
Yep.
We did learn last night, Mike Powell, that one of the powerhouses in the state little trouble this past week. Wilmington Post 10 had to forfeit, I think, some games and
ended up going from first to fourth in their division. Final
Still
finish.
probably going to make the state tournament, but
Yeah,
they
probably.
also lost three players who did not actually live within their
the
district.
the penalty was for playing ineligible
Mm-hmm.
players.
Yep. So the forfeits, I don't think will hurt them near as bad as losing the talent of the three players. And I don't know which high school they were from or who they should have played for. You know, there's not as many teams on the coast, so. But it's all about getting those releases and going through the proper channels and letting them. You know, you got to play for the one you're closest to first, unless they let you go. And we were told there was three players that fell into that category that were removed from the Wilmington team moving forward. Anytime you lose three players, if those three players were starters in your lineup, that's a hit.
That's a big loss.
That
That's
is a hit. I was just looking here at a couple things, some other stuff going on. Wayne County, who has been very strong on the verge of being eliminated and not making it to the state tournament, they trail. Let's see. Trying to find it. I don't want to tell you wrong, but I think they were trailing 2 games to 1, maybe to Pitt County. Let's see, Pitt County, Wayne County. Pitt County won game 1 2-0, won game 2 7-2. Then Wayne County won. I'm guessing it was last night by a score of 3-0 to pull within a game. No surprise here, Fuquay has already advanced to the state tournament.
already there.
Already advanced. They did lose a game to Wilson. They won their series 18-11 in game 1. Then they lost. Here's teams that don't have any problem with the bats. They lost 12-11 to Wilson in game 2. Then they won 9-6, and they clinched the series 15-0. So I'm going to say your defending state champs are probably the team to beat.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Fuquay is very strong and has been very strong. You know, this is the old Garner. People say, where did this Fuquay come from? That's the old Garner. And they're back to the days when Garner was in their heyday, it looks like right now, because the last couple of years they have been very strong. It's time for us to go. I do want to end with this because Lenny sends me one more text. We appreciate our folks weighing in this morning, as always. But Lenny says, Julio Rodriguez becomes the fastest player in Major League Baseball history to record 15 home runs and 20 stolen bases in his 81st game as a pro. Julio Rodriguez. How old is this guy?
21.
21 years old. That's pretty good because he's got the combo going there. The old Bobby Bonds numbers, 15
Speed
home
and
runs
power.
and 20 stolen bases in his 81st game. Thanks for tuning in this morning. We appreciate you tuning in to Sports Talk. We had fun. For Mike Powell, Brett Keever, I'm David Keever. See you next week.